Hey, I'm no expert on building karakuri. A little something to say thanks for before. Here. Not at the moment, thanks. But that might change if I read the letter. It's not that I couldn't understand my father's point of view. We abandoned our hometown, the City of Stone, because we were being sucked into a conflict over the Sultan's heir. My grandfather used to serve him. But after the Sultan was murdered, the two imperial princes became dangerous people to be around. On our journey eastward, we passed through many warring lands until we finally arrived here in the capital. It was peaceful at the time. But once you fled as far as Hinomoto, the land of the rising sun, where else is there to run? I say, as long as there's work, we're better off staying put. I can't live the way my father does. Oh, it's you. See you later, then.
Ah, there you are. Tell me how it went. I must say, I'm glad to see you both back safe. Did you successfully dispatch the Rasetsu?
Well, we nearly came unstuck, but luckily we had some help from on high. Not that I was any use in the battle. Anyway, Chief, don't keep the lady waiting.
Ah, arigato. I realized this was a matter of retribution for you, Ujishige. But nevertheless, a life is a life. I take full responsibility. And this specimen will not go to waste. I will need time to carry out tests, however. I won't be able to tell you anything before morning.
Sounds like my work is done then. So I'll be taking my leave of you for now. I'm in the mood for drinking. I'll bottle and alone.
Welcome back. Do you have a moment? I heard about you defeating the Deathstalker. I am sure that will be a great burden lifted for Ujishige-san. He used to have a lot of wild and violent episodes, you know? When I was little, I remember him getting blind drunk and throwing himself into the sea. The poor fishermen had to cast their nets and haul him out. And that was just one of many similar incidents. I think he lives with the constant pain of losing his samurai master and other companions. But what you've done may have eased that a little. I don't suppose he'll say much about it, but I'm sure he's very grateful to you. Oh, do you remember that huge karakuri we were wondering about? You know, there was a picture of a huge karakuri on the stone tablet I found on the Spirit Isle. I've made some good progress with my research and worked quite a few things out now. I was hoping to tell you about it. It seems it used to stand beside the spirit wheel and somehow worked in concert with it. The spirit wheel itself is a karakuri, you see? Used to distribute the celestial thread that arrives in Minato all over town. This other tower seems to have been used to accumulate thread for powering other large devices. A complement to the wheel in a way. You remember I told you it was shown with Kemono corpses around it? Well, I'm wondering if it was some kind of weapon. Even though so much of our heritage has been lost, there are still lots of things our forefathers left behind for us in Minato. It's clear that karakuri were all around them, a part of their everyday lives. My hope is that one day we can restore Minato to the way it was. Feel free to look in as often as you like. After all, they say... Can I be of service?
I've made some progress with my research. Come. Sorry to keep you on tenterhooks, but I finished my examination of the Rasetsu now. As I'd predicted, a paltry amount of celestial thread remains in the Deathstalker's system. Far less than I would normally expect to see. It must have been struggling to absorb thread for quite some time, which probably explains its appearance on the Spirit Isle. It was trying to satisfy its hunger.
But why there? It's hardly the easiest place to get to. Why not head for the canyon first?
Yes, we can only conclude there must be some reason why it chose the island. The question is, what reason? Perhaps it was routed by a stronger Kemono, for example?
Bakana. There's no other Kemono that could have threatened that thing.
Well, nevertheless, it's clear that this Rasetsu was fighting for its life, searching desperately for celestial thread, which should ordinarily be abundant in these parts. Just as humans have fought over land and resources since the dawn of time, Kemono try to gain supremacy over those around them in order to survive. It's the providence of nature. Why else would it have appeared at the frozen fort? It was hungry, and it set its sights on the Rasetsu and its territory, perhaps. But Amaterasu, the bird of auspice, is said to have lived for many centuries now. Assessing its behavior with logical reasoning may well be futile. Let us revert our attention back to the Rasetsu, and the attack on it by Amaterasu at the frozen fort. The after effects of that conflict may already be starting to show, in disturbances in the weather or surrounding flora, for example. I hope my fears are unfounded, but Minato could conceivably be affected, so I wonder if you'd revisit the castle and look around? Consider it a hunting request, if you will.
Nandayo. We escaped mortal danger only to be told to turn around and march straight back into it? Well, sounds like we got our orders, Chief. Let's just hope we don't run into any more of those wolves. The trouble with all this walking about is that I need to get my legs seen to more often.
The Rasetsu that appeared on the Isle, Amaterasu at the old castle. This migration of Kemono is unprecedented.